So, es ist Nacht. Ich glaube, Nacht ist nicht so gut zum Erkunden. Haben wir was zum Identifizieren? Haben wir nicht. Lagerkiste sollte eigentlich schon alles drin sein. Ah, okay. Ein paar Sachen können wir noch reinlegen. Okay, Flüsterstein kostet ziemlich gut. Junge, okay. Jo. Reden. Was haltet ihr von Lord Yvain?
Well, the apple has fallen far from the tree. I don't see the heir of Palamedes in him. His ancestor was a ruler devoted to his people. He was even capable of defying me when the situation called for it. I always respected him for that. And Yvain, I see a man trying to please everyone. That is the gravest sin a leader can commit. Decisions are never easy, but they must be made. I see that the current lord is trying to delay that moment, and I fear it's his people who will suffer most because of his indecision. I know much time has passed. I just hope Palamedes' bloodline wasn't diluted by the carelessness of one of Yvain's foremothers.
Dämon hier. Was ist eurer Meinung nach geschehen?
I have no idea. The Menhirs were Merlin and Nimue's domain. I was mostly just relieved they worked. Although I've always felt an odd sense of familiarity with them. I think they reacted to the power we now wield. The Four-Dweller element within us. But why and how? That's beyond even my understanding. But tell me, are you well? You were unconscious for a while.
Wisst ihr das denn nicht?
I'm not inside your mind. I can watch, and sometimes I can help, but nothing more than that. Your feelings, your pain, they're yours alone. I cannot take them from you, nor shield you from them. Throughout my life, I've rarely been idle. This helplessness feels unsettling at times.
Es geht mir gut, keine Sorge.
Good. That's good. You're admirably resilient. You remind me of some of my knights. The ones who helped me to build Avalon. Never surrendering, never backing down. We may not have chosen each other's company, but I'm glad it's you I ended up traveling with.
Okay, Stufenaufstieg können wir nicht machen. Chemie. Passt schon. Kochen. Habe ich gar nichts. Dann ruhen wir uns einfach mal ein bisschen aus. So, aha. Okay, der hat hier sein eigenes Gebiet für sein Anwesen sogar, okay. Interessant. So, hier liegt einfach so Essen rum. Das ist ganz komisch. Was haben wir hier? Ist das einfach nur ein Ausgang? Ist aber gesperrt. Ob ich den noch später aufkriege, würde ich mich interessieren. Ich sehe aber kein Hebel oder so in der Nähe. Das heißt, vielleicht wird es irgendwann später geöffnet. Aber jetzt gehen wir erstmal nicht davon aus, dass wir hier durch können. Ich finde, mein Lager passt hier ganz gut rein. Ja, wer ist denn hier? Hopp, natürlich.
Ah, isn't this a sight? Gardens, the open sky, and a bit of quiet. Makes you think the world's not so bad after all.
Was machst du hier, Hopp? Ich habe hier nicht mit dir gerechnet. Doch, das habe ich.
Neither did I, to tell the truth. One moment I'm by the sea listening to the waves. Next, poof, I'm here. Like the wind picked me up and set me down where it pleased.
Soll heißen, du bist hier einfach erschienen?
Aye, it's been happening for as long as I can remember. Thought it was some druid's prank when it started. One of their spells gone awry. I even asked a crow once if it had anything to do with it. Got no answer, of course. But if this is the way of things, who am I to complain? I get to see the stars from all sorts of places. And the best part? I never have to worry about where to go next.
Und das stört dich nicht?
Not in the slightest. The world's a big, messy place, my friend. If the winds of fate decided to carry me themselves, who am I to argue? I'll make the most of it, wherever I land. And look at this. Landed me in a fine garden, with fine company. Fate must think highly of me, eh?
Kannst du mir etwas über Nacht erzählen?
Not much, I'm afraid. But I've heard it's a lovely place. Good folk, strong traditions. They've got a treasure here, you know. A shield given to Palamedes of House Tarion by King Arthur himself. Quite the tale, that one. Someday I'd like to see it with my own eyes. Imagine the history in that. Something touched by the old king, still standing proud. Now that's worth a trip, wouldn't you say? Safe.
So, okay, das sieht irgendwie cool aus. Aha, aha. Da waren wir auf jeden Fall noch nicht. Sonst haben wir hier, glaube ich, nicht viel. Okay. Dann eine Schaukel. Können wir... Ah, wir können nicht schaukeln. Schade. Ich können wir wahrscheinlich da auch nicht schaukeln. Britta Silberpfeil. Legende Nachts und stille Beschützerin ihrer Leute. Auf dass ihre Taten nie in Vergessenheit geraten. Bogenschüssen 14. Ja gut, das brauchen wir jetzt nicht unbedingt, aber schadet auch nicht. So, da hinten haben wir direkt noch eine Tür. Ist das hier irgend so ein Mausoleum oder so? Familiengruppe, genau, das meinte ich. Wir gehen erstmal nach links. Wir können hier nicht mal was stehlen. Das ist überraschend. Aber auch irgendwie beunruhigend. Ja, ja, natürlich. Verdammt, wenn ich hier runterspringe, komme ich nicht mehr zurück. Das heißt, wir gucken uns noch hier weiter um. Ah, da ist eine Frau. Vielleicht kann die mir weiterhelfen.
You're here. Let me look at you. You seem to have recovered after whatever happened at the Menhir. The All-Mother herself must be watching over you.
Mhm. Die Allmutter hatte damit nichts zu tun.
I would gladly explain why you're wrong, but I have neither the time nor the patience to engage in religious disputes.
Bist du nicht eine Priesterin? Sind Debatten über Religion dann nicht deine Hauptaufgabe?
If I were a priestess at the Titan Steps, then perhaps. But here, take a look around. Kunart doesn't need preaching, it needs herding. The entire place is a complete disarray, and the people here are not easily swayed by words. If they were, we wouldn't be in this pickle. I've been trying to work with Lord Yvain to control this situation, but it seems like everything is conspiring against us.
Was meinst du mit, alle hätten sich gegen euch verschworen?
First came the Red Priest, braying about the Red Death and accusing people of hiding the diseased. They sow panic and mistrust as if we didn't already have both in abundance. And then you showed up and made a spectacle of yourself at the Menhir. We were hoping to make the relocation as peaceful as possible, but it seems we're fighting a losing battle.
Willst du mich nicht fragen, was beim Menhir passiert ist?
Whatever the All-Mother wanted you to see is between you. Besides, I'm more concerned with the impact your little spectacle had on the sentiments in the village. You've given people hope. Only time will tell if that was misguided or what the consequences will be if it proves true.
Du klingst wie eine Politikerin, nicht wie eine Priesterin.
There is more than one way to spread the All-Mother's grace. Why shouldn't a priestess take part in leading the people she serves? Lord Yvain is in a precarious situation. He needs all the support he can get, and supporting him in this endeavor only benefits the residents of Kunart. Besides, my apprentice Ailey is very talented and can handle all the matters that require a more hands-on approach perfectly well.
Wessen Grab ist das?
Here lies Lady Maeve, wife of Lord Yvain Tarion, my dearest friend. The one I couldn't help. You're wondering why I'm here, aren't you? I'm wondering the same. I thought I'd find solace or perhaps even grief, but all I feel is numbness. Go.
Okay. Also können wir hier wirklich... Wir können hier wirklich gar nichts machen. Vielleicht hier unten. Schloss ist kaputt, natürlich. Aber dann kommen wir von hier vielleicht auf die andere Seite. Sehr wahrscheinlich. Das war's schon. Hier ist irgend so ein altes Schwert. Aber ist erstmal uninteressant. Vielleicht kriegen wir noch... Warte mal, was ist das hier? Vielleicht kriegen wir noch eine Quest. Ist immer noch hell. Das ist
Eyes
gut.
forward and mind your step. Oi, you there, Sleeping Beauty. I saw them carrying you into Yvain's mansion. You feeling better now?
Ja, danke.
Good. Would have been a shame if something happened to the one who lit up the menhir. No wonder they brought you straight here. Tell me, did you get to see our lord? Or just that snake of his, Anselm?
Was sollen die ganzen Fragen?
Sorry, stranger. I meant no offense. Name's Morag. I'm the innkeeper around here, though, as you've probably seen, there's not much of an inn left to keep. Truth is, I was hoping that, with what happened at the menhir and all, you might have Lord Yvain's ear. And maybe you'd be kind enough to whisper a thing or two into it on my behalf?
Was brauchst du denn von Lord Yvain?
Camelot shut down my inn. Said it was because of the Red Death, but the Red Priests have been here for ages, and they never had a problem with my place. And last I checked, Yvain's still our lord. Not one of those Camelocians. What gives them the right to meddle in our business?
Naja, der Rote Tod ist eine ziemliche Bedrohung.
Aye, I know. I was here when the outbreak hit. Lost some of my best patrons. But the Red Priests have it under control now. Every new case gets carted straight to the asylum, and we haven't had one in a good while. I tried talking to the Camelocians. They told me to piss off. Now Yvain's my only hope.
Ich rede für dich mit Lord Yvain.
I thank you, stranger. All I want is a straight answer. The least he could do is make Camelot pay me some kind of compensation. Damn bastards come in here acting like they own all of Connacht. I'll wait here for you.
Jo, okay, kannst ruhig warten, aber ich komme erstmal später zurück. Familienanwesen des Langfords. Boah, ist das dunkel hier. Anybody home? Scheint alles so verlassen zu sein. Ich kann sogar looten. Kein gutes Zeichen. Da sitzt jemand. Okay.
Do you need something?
Vielleicht.
Welcome to my home. Whatever brings you here, know that the Langfords were always known for hospitality, even in times like these. Sit down. Have a drink with me.
Danke, das habe ich nicht erwartet.
This is precisely what you should expect from the Langfords. This place has seen better days, sure. Used to be full of people. Now no one bothers. Not since things turned sour. But it's still mine. I was born here, and I'll die here. Let those damn Camelocians try and drag me out. That said, do you have anything we could drink?
Okay, bitte.
Finally! Someone with proper manners. Everyone else around here just takes and takes. I've nearly forgotten what kindness feels like. But never mind all that. Come, sit, feel at home. What's the word out there? Still cheering and selling cabbages while the world rots beneath their feet?
Was ist deiner Familie zugestoßen?
They happened to themselves. Misfortune, betrayal, weakness. By the time it all landed on me, the gold was gone and the doors were already closing. And somehow I'm the one everyone points at.
Warum gehst du nicht?
And go where? Wander the roads like some beggar? My family has lived in this town for centuries. I'd rather be crushed beneath the stones my forefathers placed here than abandon them.
Willst du nicht überleben und lieber anderswo etwas Neues aufbauen?
Survive as what? A nobody scraping by, begging favors. Better to die remembered here than live forgotten out there.
Du lebst also ganz allein hier?
All alone? Not quite. There's one left. A servant. Stays up in that shed on the roof. She doesn't talk much, though. She's probably waiting for me to croak, so she can sell the place for scrap. But she'll be waiting a while. I've outlived better people.
Was wurde deiner Familie zum Verhängnis?
My uncle's betrayal is what started it all. He convinced my father to invest the family fortune in a new mining venture in the northern hills. He said the ore will make us wealthier than ever. Ha! The mine flooded, the workers died, and the council demanded reparations that bled us dry. Then the vultures descended. Merchants calling in debts. Neighbors turning their backs. My father died of grief. And I inherited nothing.
Du scheinst die Kameloter nicht besonders zu mögen.
The Camelosians? Upstarts and pretenders, the lot of them. And now they strut about, issuing orders about the weirdness coming. Convenient excuse to drive me from my ancestral home, isn't it?
Ich habe die Wildnis schon selbst gesehen.
Have you now? Convenient. Listen, stranger. Fog and strange lights don't make a catastrophe. This island has always had its oddities. The Langfords have documented them for generations. What you saw was probably just marsh gas or one of the old ruins shifting. They've manipulated you, just as they try to manipulate everyone. But I know better. This house stays, and so do I.
Na gut.
Go on then. Back to your important business. But tell others what you saw here.
So, dann sprechen wir noch mit der Dienerin, die auf dem Dach wohnt. Eliras Haus. Hier kann ich auch alles mitnehmen.
Ah, a visitor. Let me guess. You've been chatting with the last great Langford? I could hear his booming voice from up here. Always the same stories, the same complaints.
Warum bist du noch hier?
I've served the Langfords since I was a girl. My mother before me, too. When everyone else fled, someone had to remain. Not out of loyalty to him, mind you. Loyalty to what this house once stood for. So, I've heard he told you about the betrayal, the mine, his poor father dying of grief. You want to know what really happened?
Sicher?
There was a mine, that much is true. But it wasn't his uncle's idea to dig. It was his. The last great Langford heir, barely 20 and already gambling away the family fortune in Camelot taverns. The mine was his desperate attempt to recover his losses. He ignored all the warnings, water pockets, old miners who refused to work there. He hired desperate folk who didn't know any better. When it collapsed, 27 miners died, and not a single coin was spent on their families until he was forced to pay up. He blames everyone for his family's downfall except himself.
Was ist mit seinem Vater?
Sir Senric was a good man. He didn't die of grief. He died trying to make things right. Traveled to every family that lost someone, offering what compensation he could. Worked himself to exhaustion trying to salvage the family name. The night he died, our noble heir downstairs was passed out drunk in the gambling halls of Camelot. Didn't even attend his father's funeral.
Und die Kameloter, die ihr so sehr hasst?
The Camelotians offered to help. Some lady wanted to pay half of his debts out of respect for his father. The young drunk threw a wine bottle at her and called her a vulture.
Sagte, alle Diener hätten seinen Weinkeller leer getrunken und wären verschwunden.
There were 12 of us left when things got bad. Loyal folk who stayed even when the pay stopped. For months, we used our own savings to keep food on the table. His table, mind you. Then winter came, and the food stores were empty. The old groundskeeper froze to death in his cottage because the Lord needed the firewood for himself. The others left one by one. Only I remained, foolish old woman that I am.
Warum bist du wirklich geblieben?
Not for him, for the promises I made to his father. Watch over my son, Lord Senric asked me as he lay dying. He is lost, but perhaps one day he'll find his way. 30 years I've waited for that day. But now, with the weirdness coming, even promises must sometimes be broken.
Glaubt nicht, dass die Wildnis real ist.
He knows it's real. That's the most pitiful part of his charade. Sometimes at night, I hear him at the east window, watching the mists with a spyglass, whimpering like a child. But to admit that it's real would mean admitting the Camelotians are right, and he'd rather die than do that.
Hast du die Wildnis schon selbst gesehen?
Last week, it took the old mill at the edge of town, turned it inside out. Stones became light as paper. Water flowed upward. Whatever you decide to do, don't linger too long. Some ends come whether we're ready or not. I've packed my things. Soon I will leave, with or without him. I fulfilled my promise for long enough.
Ich kann versuchen, ihn zu überreden, mit dir zu gehen.
And why would I want to leave with him? I think I've carried this burden for long enough.
Ohne dich würde wahrscheinlich sterben.
That's the cruel truth of it, isn't it? 30 years I've kept him alive. And what thanks have I gotten? None. But you're right. He wouldn't last a week without someone to cook his meals and tend his fire. Even his self-pity needs an audience.
Mhm. Ja gut,